with the release of Modern Warfare 3, we have been introduced to 6 new SMGs. And in today's video, we're going to be ranking them in order from best to worst. Not only that, I'll also be giving you guys the class setups for each and every one so you guys can try them out yourself. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we have the Rival 9, which is the best SMG hands down. No other SMG comes close just because of how fast it kills, how fast the gun is, and how fast you can kill at range. Now, in order to get this gun to reach its full potential, this is the best class setup you could possibly use for it. And if you don't want to take it from me, take it from Shotzi, which is who I got this class from. Now, one new pro you can look for when you're building your classes is a new thing called firing aim stability. Having regular recoil control built out is going to be great, but if you want to have your gun not move at all when you're shooting, firing aim stability is going to do that for you. So you can look for that one thing when you're building out your classes and picking the right attachments for every gun. Now, as I showed you in the firing range, this Rival 9 class is absolutely perfect because it does not move at all. It's still pretty quick and it kills insanely fast. This gun also has good iron sights, so you don't need to put an optic on it and slow down your ADS speed even more. The one thing that I don't like about the gun as much is that it has a pretty high rate of fire, but a lower mag size. So if you really want to, you can get rid of your ammunition type and put on a larger mag. But in my opinion, the extra bullets are not worth slowing down the gun at all. But overall, this is my absolute number 1 SMG, and I do recommend you try it out. Coming in number 2, we have the Striker, which is not to be confused with the Striker 9. They are two completely different guns. The Striker is also a very good gun to use because it can kill quick up close and at mid-range. Versatility is something that I'm looking for in this game a lot because I do believe that it is very AR oriented. You'll also notice that with the Striker, I do have pretty similar attachments because I'm looking for that one thing, the firing aim stability. In order to compete at range with these ARs, I do want these guns to be as steady as possible. But overall, I think the Striker does deserve the number 2 spot because there's not many other SMGs that have that versatility that I'm looking for. If you don't have an SMG that can kill at mid-range, you're going to be absolutely dominated by ARs. With these guns having so many options to make them super easy to use, that also means you're probably going to die pretty quick. So instead of just constantly dying by running at people, try to find a gun that can compete at mid-range as well. Now, after the Striker, I think there's only one more SMG that can really compete at mid-range, and that's going to bring us to our number 3. And coming in that number 3 spot is going to be the WSP 9. Now, if you are an OG Warzone player and played Verdansk back in the day, you're going to absolutely find a love for this gun because it is just like the Milano. And if you remember, I did hold a world record with the Milano in buyback solos. This gun does definitely bring back some nostalgia. Now, the one thing that I do not like about it is it has a pretty small mag size. So if that bugs you, you're able to take off that stock and put on like a 40 round mag if you'd like to. But with that slower rate of fire, it does do a bit more damage. You're able to get more kills per mag, so it is a little bit of a trade-off. This one was one of my favorite SMGs to use while leveling up, but I do think that the Rival 9 and the Striker are still better. And the reason for that is because with the slower fire rate, when you're up close, if you miss one bullet, that TTK changes dramatically. Now, with the Rival and the Striker, you do have a higher rate of fire, which does mean you can miss a bullet or two and still get pretty much the same TTK. With this gun, on the other hand, if you miss a bullet up close, pretty much going to change it dramatically. And let's say, for example, you do have good aim, this one will be good for you up close too because it will kill pretty much just as fast. Now, coming in at number 4, we have the WSP Swarm. Now, this one is most definitely the most wild card-like SMG you're going to have in this game. Now, the reason I say that is because it is extremely quick, it shoots extremely fast, but it has pretty bad accuracy. Not only does it have pretty bad accuracy, it only has 32 rounds in its magazine, but this gun is not all bad. It is my number 4 spot because it does still kill pretty quick up close. Now, compared to the rest of the SMGs, it probably has the number 2 spot for the fastest time to kill up close, but I do believe the Rival 9 still does take the cake for that. I personally probably will not be using this gun as it is very hard to use at mid-range, so it's not going to be super ideal to get a lot of kills with. But let's say later down the road in Warzone or something, if you wanted to clear a building, this might be the perfect gun for that. Overall, this one is not my favorite SMG. It does not have enough redeeming qualities to make it worth using in my opinion, but if you are a run and gun type player, this one might be for you because it is extremely quick. Coming in at number 5, we have the Striker 9, which is just the Striker, but weaker. I'm pretty sure the whole goal of the Striker 9 was to make the Striker, but have it a little bit quicker for up-close engagements. Now, it was a good idea, but I don't think it hit the mark as much as they wanted it to. For the class setup, I chose to make it pretty much the exact same way that I made the regular Striker, and the same rules apply. If you don't like the iron sights, you can put on another red dot instead of using the ammunition type. Overall, there's really nothing special about this gun. It is almost the exact same thing as the regular Striker, but kills a lot slower, and it doesn't have that extra range that I'm looking for to make sure that we can still fight at mid-range if we need to. Some good redeeming qualities that it does have, though, are that it has pretty good movement speed and very low recoil. Again, I think the Striker 9 is going to be one of those guns, just like the Swarm, that you can go in Warzone and try to like clear out a room or something. But as far as multiplayer goes, I think this gun just missed the mark and is really not useful. And then coming in our number 6 spot, we have the AMR9. The AMR9 kind of falls in the same spot as the Striker 9 does. I built it pretty much the exact same way as the Striker 9, and it kind of behaves the same way too. There are some good things that the AMR9 does have, such as the low recoil, the high rate of fire, and even the ability to go up to 100 rounds in one magazine. And like I had said for the last 2 SMGs, I think this gun will be good later on down in Warzone, but for right now in multiplayer, it just completely missed the mark. It gets way too many hit markers, and every AR and every SMG is going to outkill you. The gun is also fairly slow movement speed wise and ADS speed wise, so a lot of the time you're going to be pre-aiming things even when you're using an SMG. But that is going to wrap up my SMG rankings. I hope I broke them down enough for you to understand which ones might be best for you. And I hope the classes that I made help you out on your journey to maxing out your guns too. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch you guys soon.